So if you if you notice my background, you will see that today I am very fortunate to be accompanied and surrounded by all of the Iron Mans there. Okay, suddenly it makes me feel protected and safe. I don't know safe from what, but somehow I feel safe and protected. Okay, all right. So without further ado, let me start with my workshop for today. You know what? First of all, can you guys see my screen? Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Can I? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes, madam.
So you know what? This is the thing with Madam Hanani. You know, those who were or previously were in my class or currently in my class, all of my students, you should know that whenever you are in my class, I like to have some sort of fun and engaging session in which I want everybody to feel fun, to have fun, have a fruitful session. I do not want to put anybody into sleeping mode. You know, I like to be, you know, animated and energetic. Okay, so I will try my best to make this workshop as entertaining as it could for all of you for the next 2 hours. Okay, again, thank you very much to all sales members for having me. Thank you very much to everyone as well. Feeling very delighted and honored indeed. Okay, so so this is just now you heard Mariam. Thank you so much, my dear Mariam, for such a very what we call it, very meaningful introduction to Madam Hanani. Okay, so my thank you, my dear. My full name is Madam Nur Hanani Azami, and as informed by Mariam, I was recently awarded with the title TS, stands for Professional Technologies, and this is my email account. If you feel like you want to what we call it, communicate or contact me, feel free to drop me an email via this email account, nurhanani@uniten.edu.my. So actually, I think everybody missing Uniten, right? So I really miss my office at Uniten. So let's say if this pandemic is over and we manage to go back to our beloved Uniten, you may find me at Chess Building level 5, room 233, and this is my extension number. But before I go into further details, again, I will always very sweet and very meaningful introduction background. It's just that I would like to share with everyone, since my title is artificial intelligence and machine learning fundamentals, so I would like to share with everyone my experience in AI field. So I first joined or being involved in AI field back in year 2009. Okay, back in year 2009, I was involved in this one research project entitled Mental Health Expert Diagnostic System. So back in year 2009, I developed that expert system on my own, okay, and I called it as Mental Status Examination Expert System, which in which I won a silver medal during ICT research competition back in year 2010 for that project, for that AI system. I developed that AI system back in year 2009, and it was completed in 2010. So my AI project, my AI system back in the day was developing an expert system to diagnose or to detect mental health or mental being of a patient in several hospitals which impairment. So I still remember back in the day when I developed the system, I call it as an expert system. Back in the day, I just used AI. I didn't use any machine learning back in the day. I just used my AI technique. We called it as expert system. I use a lot of fuzzy logic in which with my system, I can replace the doctor's work of having to give prescription and doing the diagnostic to any of their medical patient with mental impairment. So somehow my system managed to replace some of the doctor's routine, in which, for example, if today the condition of that patient has been becoming improved as compared to previous 2 days, for example, so the system will be telling the doctor that there's no need for the doctor to give any prescription to that patient, something like that. So having this talk with all of you, having this workshop with all of you, actually reminiscing back the good old days of when I first joined or first join what we call it AI research project. First got involved in AI. That was like back in the day, 2009, and now we are living in year 2021. And okay, my right now my PhD research area is again, of course, under AI, in which in year 2012 I did my master research. I received my master. I did my master in the field of image processing and computer vision. Later, I'm going to show you that image processing and computer vision and image processing is one of the domain inside the big umbrella of artificial intelligence. And now my current research is very much focusing on computational aesthetics. What does it mean by that? It means that you are trying to give the computer, the machine, a sense of feel, meaning that whenever the machine sees something, it can say, or it can it can see, it can feel, it can perceive the beauty of a people, the music. So we do that by doing some sort of computations and coding. So that's why we call it as computational aesthetics. So I'm very much focusing on that domain now as compared to previously. So but you know what, since I like to be funny, I like to have fun. So that is the professional side of Madam Hanani. Now, this is the other side of Madam Hanani. Now, guys, are you familiar with Avengers Endgame? Anyone familiar with Avengers movies?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yes. If you remember, guys, I'm not so sure whether you noticed this or not, but in Avengers Endgame movies, they talk about quantum reality. What we call it, quantum computing, quantum realm, in which you have an alternate kind of life, alternate reality kind of life. So same goes to Madam Hanani. Imagine that we are in Avengers movies, okay? And I have my own so-called quantum realm, alternate reality kind of life, okay? So I have the 3 versions of me all together. So basically, this is the Korean version of Madam Hanani. This is the Nabu version of Madam Hanani. And this is the US version of Madam Hanani. So if you combine these 3, so you will have this glamour name. I coined it as Madam T.S. Hanani Gomez Skywalker. I forgot to put Blackpink there. It should be stated as Madam Hanani Blackpink Gomez Skywalker. Okay, but a little bit on quantum realm. You know that these days we are very much, the scientists are very much moving towards that, giving the machine the ability to shut down and to turn on itself as it please, If I'm a machine, if I feel like, okay, I want to shut down myself, okay, I can shut down myself. If I feel like, okay, now I want to turn on, I have the ability to turn on. So something like that when it comes to quantum computing, okay? The scientists are very much moving towards that. Okay, guys, now enough about me. I know you are impressed with that 3 versions of me, but let's go back to reality, okay? So I purposely coined the title of my workshop to be When Hanani Meets Alan Turing, because Alan Turing is the father of AI. Later, I'm going to show you a little bit or a brief history of Professor Alan Turing. But among the quotes, the quotes that I really love about Alan Turing, one of the quotes that I think is very meaningful for us in AI domain would be this one. A computer would deserve to be called intelligent if it could deceive a human into believing that it was human. So judging from this quote and coined by this quote, Alan Turing proposed a test called Alan Turing test. So later I'm gonna talk about it. So this is just a little bit background of Madam Hanani. Now, this is my, again, the title of my workshop for today, Artificial Intelligence and Learning Fundamentals, Episode 1. Why I call it as Episode 1? Because I am a huge fan of Star Wars, okay? Guys, I am a Star Wars geek, okay? I'm not being shy with saying that, okay, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So you know that Star Wars has Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, okay? So why I call my workshop as episode 1, because again, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. But on the serious note, actually, this is a starting point for me to share my knowledge in AI and machine learning with all of you. Okay. I call this one episode 1 because in this workshop, we are just going to talk about AI and machine learning in general. This is just a fundamental part of machine learning and AI. Just to enable everyone to know what AI and machine learning is all about. Just to give you a brief idea on what this domain is all about. So again, coming back to our discussion just now, I would like to have several series of workshops in the future. That if sales want to invite me again, okay? If and only if sales want to invite me again, I would like to have a series of AI talks in the future. So that's why I call this one as episode 1, in which we at least if I manage to have a free time and if I got invited by sales again, I would like to have episode 2, in which in episode 2 I will have a very a series of session in which I will teach you on how to create your own AI and machine learning program. So today I'm not going to talk about how to do coding and stuff like that. Today I'm going to give you a brief introduction to AI and machine learning. But if the time permits, let's say if in the future we have the opportunity, I will proceed with episode 2, in which I will personally teach you guys on how to create your own AI and machine learning program. Okay. Now, all right, so moving along, I have enlisted here the list of activities or the tentative for my workshop for today. Okay, actually, I want to do an ice breaking session because in my workshop, that's the way I create a bonding with my viewers, with my participants. So after this, we will go to a simple ice breaking session. Those who are familiar with my workshop, you have attended several of my previous workshops. Familiar with the way Madam Hanani conducting at the very beginning of a workshop. Then we will move forward to our title, to our the gist of our workshop for today, which is we're going to see and discuss about AI and machine. After that, I hope to give one challenge. I called it as Madam Hanani's AI challenge, in which I will give you this game. Okay, so everybody is highly welcome to participate in this game, and the winner will get RM20 ringgit KFC vouchers personally from me. Okay, so I will just pick one winner only. So right after our workshop ended, before we go to our Q&A session, I would like to have this activity with all of you, okay? Just to have fun. Like I said, whenever I'm conducting any workshop, be it programming, Python, or Java, or AI workshop, my main goal is to have fun with all of my viewers, with all of the participants. I just want to have fun. I just want to have a fruitful session. No hard feeling whatsoever, okay? So hopefully everybody will be able to participate in my AI challenge, in which you have to play one game, and the winner, you have to share your screen with everyone to prove that you managed to win the game. Okay, and I will give you, because I have been giving this for several times already. In every workshop that I have been conducting, I will keep on giving KFC vouchers. I think KFC should be thankful of Madam Hanani, you know. So same goes to my workshop for today. I will give you 20 ringgit KFC vouchers only for the winner. Okay, I will just pick. After that EI challenge, then we will proceed with the Q&A session, and after that we will close our workshop for today. Activity or the tentative for my I do not want to put anybody into sleeping mode, so I just over and over again I will keep on asking, are you still there?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam, I'm still here.
Yes, very good. So now okay. Are you guys familiar with Mentimeter? Are you familiar with Mentimeter?
Yeah.
Any
Yep.
familiar with Menti?
Yes.
Can I ask everyone to go to www.menti.com? Okay, kindly go to www.menti.com for our brief ice-breaking session. Okay, I really love to have this kind of activity, you know. This is my own way of creating my bonding with internet is somehow lagging and still loading. So hopefully everyone can bear with me. But in the meantime, hopefully everyone will go to menti.com, in which if you are familiar with menti.com, I will be giving you a code, okay? And you just type the code in order for you to start this ice-breaking session, okay? Oh, I'm very sorry for the slow internet connection that I am currently. Okay, guys. Are you ready now?
Yes.
Are you ready now to go to Menti.com, everyone? Okay,
Yes.
all right. Thank you, my
Yes,
dear. Okay, now just wait for the. Thank you, my dear. The code to be given, to be displayed to your monitor screen, and once you got the code, hopefully you may start entering our ice breaking session. Okay, I am very sorry for the very slow internet connection at the moment. I don't know what happened. Normally my internet connection is good, but don't know what happened today. Hopefully no sabotage whatsoever. Okay, all right. Now this is our ice-breaking session of Madam Hanani conducting her workshop each and every time. Okay, hopefully everyone would be able to type this code over here, 64363999. Again, I repeat, 64363999. Okay, all right. Now I got the responses already. So I just want to know which generation are you from actually. Are you the so-called iGen or the Gen Z generation, or you came from Gen Alpha? But if you came from Gen Alpha, then what are you doing here in my workshop? Okay. And I have 5 people came from another planet. Oh, that makes 6. That makes 7. And you know that Madam Hanani, in alternate reality kind of life, I came from planet Nabu, okay? So that make 8 of us. It means that, which makes me feel very excited indeed. Later, I will ask what kind of language that you. I don't know how many participants that we are currently having now, but I am overwhelmed looking at the responses at the moment. 61 responses, which is very, very good. That's why I say, if I have my own Instagram account, I can become an influencer. Sorry, just joking. Okay. Keep it coming, guys. Actually, I just want to know which generation are you currently in, or which generation did you came from? Is it iGen or just so-called Gen Z? But actually,
My
obviously,
generation,
majority of you
generations
came from
X,
Gen
madam,
Z.
do not have here.
Generation X? Really? How old are you, my dear?
29.
Oh my God, I am very sorry. I didn't have what we call it.
It's okay.
other Z and Gen Alpha. Oh my God, I should have created those from what we call it previous generation. I came from generation dinosaur, by the way. Oh, I have one Gen Alpha. How old are you, my dear? Oh my God, this is very interesting. I'll be talking with your generations language, with your what we call it, with your group's language. All of the Gen Alpha, they have their own kind of language which I don't even understand. Okay, so I have 65 responses altogether. Wow, very impressive. Come again, my dear. Anyone would like to say anything? Okay. Okay. Should I wait for more? Can I proceed now, everyone?
Yes, madam.
Any?
Yes, madam.
Can I? Can I? All right. Now I proceed to my last question. Okay. This is on serious note. All right. This is on serious note. What is your first thought when you think of? What is the first thing that came to your mind when artificial intelligence? Wow, privacy. Oh my God. What kind of privacy are we talking about? Wow, AI provides you with some sort of privacy. Wow. Automata. Wow. Intelligent computing. Wow. Star Wars technology. Oh my God, I love you. Star Wars technology. Super fast computing. What are you talking about? That one. I cannot robots with its own mind. Yes. Beam me up. But are you Decepticon or Autobots? Obviously, Autobots gang. Attempt to understand human. Wow, this is very interesting. Intelligent computing, very modern word. Oh my God. Flying cars. Oh, this one is very interesting. It has been legend. It has been said. However, in year 2021, even an aeroplane cannot fly, unfortunately. Okay, what else? Easier and more efficient, modern era's best friend. Wow. Jimmy Neutron. I think that one is a cartoon or what? Humor's new threat. Wow, I really like this one. Or suddenly everything turns into very mysterious. Self-sufficient system, robots with own minds. Okay. Future of the world. Elon Musk. Oh my God, I have Elon Musk fan here. Oh my God. Innovation. Okay. Decepticon. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am very thankful. I have Iron Man here with me. Evolving intelligence. Okay. 5G. Wow. Hacking. Are you a hacker, my dear? Okay. So a movie from year 2001. Yeah. AI makeup. Mecha, name of the robot in the movie Mecha, right? The Mecha, the story of a young robot boy with his human mother really touched my heart. You know, I really love that movie from Mr. Spielberg. Turing, okay, he's the father of AI. Okay, waifu anime wife. What does it mean by this? I don't know. That's why I said. That's why my first question just now, did you guys came from, because you know what, we have some sort of some sort of generation gap there. I couldn't even pronounce that. The waifu anime wife. What does it mean by that? See the generation gap between us. Okay, innovation, yes. Madam, why madam here suddenly? Okay, simple word. Okay, all right. Big data, yes. Back in the day, we have data mining. These days, is all about big data, okay? We even combating COVID-19 pandemic with the help of our big data technology these days, you know. Because the My Sejahtera, all of that was built based on the big data technology. Out of actually, I'm a fan of all the sci-fi movies. Jarvis, oh my god, did you know that? Are you familiar with the series that the Disney Hotstar has their own series of WandaVision, and Vision was another version of Jarvis, right?
Oh, you mean
I
Disney
think
Plus?
Mak Zuk has his own Jarvis. Yes, what? Come again, my dear?
No, I'm just mentioning. Do you mean by Disney Plus?
Disney Plus, yes, my dear. Disney Plus Hotstar. They have a mini series called WandaVision, right?
Yeah.
My son is very Hotstar. Great mini series, right? Because some mentioning, I was mentioning Jarvis, so suddenly my mind triggered to. Okay, I think that's all for our ice. Now I know that majority of you actually have heard of AI before, and actually majority of you are well aware and familiar with the what we call it, a concept. All right, so now moving on, okay, without further ado, moving along, okay. So now on the serious note, let's talk about AI, okay. What does it mean by AI? People keep on talking about AI here, AI there. Even back in year 2009, when I first ventured into field, I was fascinated by the term or the word artificial intelligence itself, you know. So in a proper definition, to make machine behaving like us. We want to dated almost 50 years ago. They created AI because they want to have some sort of, I would not say life form, some sort of thing or force, if you are a Star Wars geek, some sort of force or thing that can somehow replace, not to say replace, somehow can capability to do every single thing that us human can do, you know. This was like dated back almost 50 years ago. Now, before I proceed further, I have something for you. But before that, please let me know if you are unable to hear the sound effect. Can you see my screen? Everyone, are you able to hear the sound of this video?
Boleh.
Yes, eh?
Sound.
Enjoy. Guys, can you hear and see clearly, right?
It's a good night tonight.
Mass disruption.
That's one small step. One giant.
Hello. My name is Mike from Centrica. I am just calling to let you know that your gas supply has now been restored and you should not have any more problems. Thank you for all of your help. You've been great.
So, did you enjoy the video just now, everyone?
Yes.
Everyone? Why suddenly everybody is so quiet? Did you guys enjoy the video just now?
Yes,
Yeah,
madam.
yes, we do.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
You were at the sound and see the moving images, right? Okay. So from the video, we can see that AI has come so far, you know, almost, I think dated almost 50 or 60 years ago when it was first coined by the father of AI himself, Professor Alan Turing. But before we go to history, let's talk intelligence. What do you think? What is the component of intelligence? Our ability to process information, right? Our ability instruction, our ability sad, to feel happy, to feel angry, our ability to communicate with one another, our ability to keep on improving ourselves by keep on doing self-learning over and over again. Components that makes us human intelligent, all of that has been with the years that I've spent in this AI field. I dare to say the machine that we have currently is stupid. Okay, machine intelligent as human. The scientists from the era of 1950s onward, the creators or the responsible scientists who coined the term artificial intelligence up until now, us human, we give the ability to the machine to have the center at doing calculations, being better at understanding instruction, being better at processing information. Now, I want to ask you something. What differentiates us human with animal? Let's say maybe the apes. Anyone? What is this? What picture is this? What animal is this? That is the correct question. What animal is everyone?
Chimpanzee.
Panzi.
Chimpanzee, right? From the family of apes. I would say that this is chimpanzee, monkey, apes, whatsoever, from the same family, from the same category. Did you know that there are a few animals who are very good in following orders, and they are very good in understanding signal language? Okay. Like for example, if we want to teach the monkey of what is the term for the signal language? The term, right? What is the sign language? Yes, signal language suddenly. Sign language, okay? Now, the sign language that us human communicate with one another, especially with the impairment people. The monkeys family, this research has been shown by research, not something that Madam Hanani suddenly say out of a blue moon. This has been proven that monkey, all the family that belongs to the apes family lah, chimpanzee, they are very good at sign language. They are very good at speaking with, sign language, talking about hungry, how to show that we are hungry with hand, how to show that we are happy, So they are very good at imitating that. But what they are lacking of is the ability to have consciousness, the ability to be aware of what they are as an animal, that is lah. So their ability to have that term intelligent, okay, the ability to think for itself. They are good at following orders, but they are not good at breaking any orders or breaking any rules. They couldn't even argue with us. If you ask them to do something, they will just follow our orders. This has been proven by a research paper, not something Madam Hanani just say out of a blue moon, okay? So now, by studying all of, the way the animals, the way us as human communicate or live our life, having or feel, understanding instruction, processing information. So the scientists trying to, starting from year 1950s, from Professor Alan Turing until now, breakthrough in AI field happens almost every day. And almost every day, there will always be a breakthrough in create a robot that can speak, a robot that can predict a war, a robot that can predict a weather, a robot that can feel, all of machines that are very good. This is what AI is all about. Okay, in a very general overview, I call it in a form of helicopter view. This is what AI is all about. And in a proper definition, AI is the branch of computer science that is concerned with the automation of intelligent behavior. It all started up in year 1997 when the first computer, the Deep Blue, IBM's, I forgot the name, IBM's Deep Blue, managed to beat human, I forgot his name. Is it Gary Capero or something? So back in the 1997, the IBM managed to beat the world chess champion. I forgot. I think his name was Gary Kasparov or something. I forgot the name. So starting from that moment on, the breakthrough in AI keeps on happening. Okay, and all of that happened thanks to this one. So he was the father of AI. He was the one who invented. If I with Madam Hanani, I love to although I am no Picasso, I love to draw. Okay, those in my class know how much I love to draw and how much I love to paint. Okay, now let me. Okay, so back in the year 1938, Professor Alan Turing was involved in some sort of project or program, which his team, I think if I forgot the team's name, I forgot the group's name, but they were assigned for this or to break the Germans' Enigma code. Okay, back in year World War. This is World. Can you see my pen
Yes, madam.
screen now, everyone? Okay, so we go back in World War II. Okay, so back in World War II, the Enigma, in which they will communicate with all the Nazis. When I talk about the Germans, I talk about the Nazis. Okay, so the Nazis, they communicate with from one soldier to another soldier. Let's say they take any country, for example, they will be using this special code called the Enigma code. Okay, so in order for the what we call it, for the alliance and so on, they form the Professor Alan Turing is one member of that group, in which they want to crack the Enigma code. So in year 1938, okay, in year 1938, actually to be exact, 1940s, okay, 1940s, Professor Alan Turing successfully created this machine, this AI machine regarded as the bomb or the bomb. So this bomb, I feel funny whenever I encounter the word the bomb. Okay, so this machine managed to crack every single Nazi's code, Enigma's code available on that era. Okay, so that's how they won the war. Okay, so the man who broke the Enigma code during World War II and somehow has, since starting from that moment, he became obsessed. Professor Alan Turing, he became obsessed with creating intelligent machine. So in the 90s, okay, in the 1950s, he wrote a paper called I forgot the paper name, called Computing Machine something. I forgot the name of the paper, but he wrote that paper, and in that paper he wants to answer this question. In that research paper, I propose to consider the question, can machines think? Okay, so it was all coined from this paper he wrote back in the 1950s. So, as a team won the war, helping the alliance to win the war until the 1950s. After he wrote that paper, he somehow regarded as the Turing test. Okay, in year 1951, he created the Turing test, in which for this test there so you have human test consists of three counterparts. Okay, first you have the computer respondent, and then next you have the human interrogator or human questioner, and next you have human respondent. So what happened during the Turing test was the human questioner, the interrogator, he will of questions simultaneously to the computer and also to the human respondent. And within certain times, if the computer managed to give or to provide as similar as human, and on that moment on, the computer will be regarded as being intelligent. Okay, so notice that this one happened in 1951, back in the day. Okay, this Turing test, after this Turing test, one scientist created an intelligent system called ELIZA. Okay, that was back in the day. I am not able to write. So I created ELIZA. Okay, so this ELIZA back in year 1952 or some Siri. Are you guys familiar with Siri? Are you guys familiar with Siri, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
So Siri is an advanced version of ELIZA. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with AASIA's website. AASIA's website. this happened before COVID lah. You are familiar with Eva, the chat, all of that series, Evas, and so on. All of them were created based or from the concept of the Turing test, which was developed or created by Professor Alan Turing back in the day. So, you know, these days we have no and I do when it comes to all of these latest gadgets. Other than Siri, what else we have these days that can communicate with us as if we are talking to our own best friend, right?
Alexa. Google Assistant, madam.
Yes, idea? Yes, I was about to show you Google Assistant after this. Thank you very much, my dear Sean. Okay, so it's good to have feedback from everybody. Alexa, yes. I was waiting for someone to mention Alexa, actually. Alexa and Siri are the most popular examples of AI system created or coined from the basic concept of the Turing test back in year 1951. Okay, so this is history. Okay. Now moving along to our on serious note. So we want to know what is AI and what are the components inside AI. Okay, so I have provided you with the second video, another video before I give my explanation. Enjoy this video. If you are unable to see and hear this video clearly, kindly let me know. Okay, so enjoy this second video. Again, if there's lagging or breaking, kindly let me know. Hopefully everybody would be able to see and hear the video clearly.
What it is. Artificial intelligence. You know, HAL 9000 and Marvin the Paranoid Android. Thanks to books and movies, each generation has formed its own fantasy of a world ruled, or at least served, by robots. We've been conditioned to expect flying cars that steer clear of traffic and robotic maids whipping up our weekday dinner. But if the AI is here, why don't our lives look more like the Jetsons? Well, for starters, that's a cartoon. And really, if you've ever browsed Netflix movie suggestions or told Alexa to order a pizza, you're probably interacting with artificial intelligence more than you realize. And that's kind of the point. AI is designed so you don't realize there's a computer calling the shots. But that also makes understanding what AI is and what it's not a little complicated. In basic terms, AI is a broad area of computer science that makes machines seem like they have human intelligence. So it's not only programming a computer to drive a car by obeying traffic signals, but it's when that program also learns to exhibit signs of human-like road rage. As intimidating as it may seem, this technology isn't new. Actually, for the past half a century, it's been an idea ahead of its time. The term artificial intelligence was first coined back in 1956 by Dartmouth professor John McCarthy. He called together a group of computer scientists and mathematicians to see if machines could learn like a young child does, using trial and error to develop formal reasoning. The project proposal says they'll figure out how to make machines use language, form abstractions and concepts, solve kinds of problems now reserved for humans, and improve themselves. That was more than 60 years ago. Since then, AI has remained for the most part in university classrooms and super secret labs, but that's changing. Like all exponential curves, it's hard to tell when a line that's slowly ticking upwards is going to skyrocket. But during the past few years, a couple of factors have led to AI becoming the next big thing. First, huge amounts of data are being created every minute. In fact, 90% of the world's data has been generated in the past 2 years. And now, thanks to advances in processing speeds, computers can actually make sense of all this information more quickly. Because of this, tech giants and venture capitalists have bought into AI and are infusing the market with cash and new applications. Very soon, AI will become a little less artificial and a lot more intelligent. Now the question is, should you brace yourself for yet another Terminator movie live on your city streets? Not exactly. In fact, stop thinking of robots. When it comes to AI, a robot is nothing more than the shell concealing what's actually used to power the technology. That means AI can manifest itself in many different ways. Let's break down the options. First, you have your bots. They're text-based and incredibly powerful, but they have limitations. Ask a weather bot for the forecast, and it will tell you it's partly cloudy with a high of 57. But ask that same bot what time it is in Tokyo, and it'll get a little confused. That's because the bot's creator only programmed it to give you the weather by pulling from a specific data source. Natural language processing makes these bots a bit more sophisticated. When you ask Siri or Cortana where the closest gas engine and reading the answer back in human syntax. The far end of the spectrum is machine learning, and honestly, it's one of the most exciting areas of AI. A machine retains information and becomes smarter over time. But unlike a human, it's not susceptible to things like short-term memory loss, information overload, sleep deprivation, and distractions. But how do these machines actually learn? Well, while it may be easy for a human to know the difference between a cat and a dog, for a computer, not so much. You see, when you're only considering physical appearance, the difference between cats and dogs can be a little gray. You can say cats have pointed ears and dogs have floppy ears, but those rules aren't universal. Between tail length, fur texture, and color, there are a lot of options. It means a lot of tedious rules someone would have to program manually to help a computer spot the difference. But remember, machine learning is about making machines learn like humans. And like any toddler, that means they have to learn by experience. With machine learning, programs analyze thousands of examples to build and achieves its goal. Over time, the program actually gets smarter. That's how machines like IBM's Watson can diagnose cancer, compose classical symphonies, or crush Ken Jennings at Jeopardy! Some programs even mimic the way the human brain is structured, complete with neural networks that help humans, and now machines, solve problems. Generations have long imagined the ramifications of AI, visualizing a society where machines seek revenge and wreak havoc on human society. However, the more logical and pressing question is, how will AI affect your job? Will it make your work obsolete? Just like the Industrial Revolution, it's not human versus machine, it's human and machine versus problem. The point is that artificial intelligence helps you accomplish more in less time, taking on the repetitive tasks of your job while you master the strategy and relationships. That way, humans can do what they do best, be human.
Okay. Did you enjoy the video just now?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So, all
Yes,
right.
madam.
Okay. Thank you, my dear. Now, although like I said, although I am no Picasso, but since I draw and I love to paint, so let me give you the explanation via my own drawing. Now, I want everyone to visualize or to imagine a robot, okay, just as the same age as your little sister, okay. Where is my pen here? I want to now okay, here. All right, now in order for us to understand how machines work and how machine imitates us human, let us imagine that this is a baby. I don't know how to draw a baby lah. This is baby Selena Gomez. Okay, this baby goes by the name of Selena Gomez. Okay, now you as a brother or as a sister or as a mother, as a father, every day you will train your baby to understand things, to understand instruction. Maybe first after they were born, after they reach like 6 months and plus, you will teach them to pronounce the word mama. And you teach this baby, mama means mother. And then the baby again to pronounce the word papa, daddy. This one is referring to a father. Now, not only in the duration of 6 months after they were born, so you keep on teaching your baby, your toddler to speak or to pronounce mama, papa, and as they go along, this baby Selena Gomez, as she becomes older, you teach her again about mathematics. You teach her that 1 plus 1 is equivalent to 2, 3 to 3 is equivalent to 6, and so on. So now you are teaching Selena Gomez alphabet, numbers, and then you teach them again, okay? They learn, okay? The babies, as they grow up, becoming toddler, becoming children, they will imitate you human. They will see if you are upset about something, then you will become angry. Sometimes you may shout, okay? So they imitate, they learn from their parents. If they see, if their parents gets angry, maybe some of them will be shouting, for example. So the next time you know, well, unsatisfied with something, happy with something, they will throw a tantrum. They will be shouting. They will be yelling, perhaps, you know. And if they are sad, they will cry. So all of these characteristics, you know, all these characteristics or capabilities are very unique for us. You know, that we are based for us by our parents, by our teachers, by our surroundings. So we learn about things. We learn how to pronounce mama from our parents. We learn how to pronounce papa from our parents. We learn to calculate. We learn to, you know, we learn to cry whenever we feel sad. We have the tendency to cry. All of this behavior, all of these unique capabilities, we learn from something or somebody or the surrounding. We have learned so far, becoming the knowledge base to our brain. So, like the other day, this is all my younger. This, like, my son is already 15 years old. So when he was 5 or 6 years old, I took him to the zoo. And when we first encountered the very first animal at the zoo, I still remember the color was black and white stripes. So when my son was asking, Mommy, what is that? So straight away I can tell him, oh, that is a zebra. How do I know that is a zebra? Because I have learned about it before. Maybe from reading from the magazine, maybe from the TV. Having black in my brain. So that's why when my son asking me, Mommy, what is that? Straight away I can tell him, oh, zebra, because that is already there inside my brain, inside my memory. But as we go along, as we went along the zoo, there was this strange animal with red eye, flying, jumping from one branches to another, and my son was asking me again, Mommy, what is that animal? Somehow I couldn't even answer. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Madam Hanani, this is Madam Hanani. Okay. And when my son was asking me what kind of animal was that, I couldn't even answer. I was totally blank. I don't know. And the only thing I can say, oh, I'm sorry, Mommy, sorry, Mommy doesn't know, have no idea. And that was the moment when my son said, Mommy, you should watch Animal Planet frequently. The next thing I know, I was watching Animal Planet every single time with my son. But that was like back in the day. Now he's okay. So now my point, the more knowledge that we get, every single day we will learn new thing. Like you guys coming to my workshop, learning brief into fundamentals about AI. So as a human, this is my advice to you guys, the youngsters. Never stop learning. We get better in times with learning, by practicing, by remembering, by doing like our previous mathematics teacher will keep on telling us, practicing, maths, So the same analogy, the same concept was invented or given, installed to a computer. Okay, so training the machine to understand instruction, to know knowledge, giving the machine all of the knowledge that it will require, as much as it could require. Okay, so if I can draw again, Picasso, but somehow I still love drawing. Okay, now here imagine, okay, that this is a robot. This is a robot. Yeah, I don't know lah how to draw a robot seriously. Like seriously. Okay, imagine that this is a robot. Every day you will feed the data to the robot. Feed data to robot. But first and foremost, you create this so that this robot can move, can understand instruction, can do this robot to imitate human. Now, this or imitating human is the field of artificial intelligence. Now, we move forward from that, moving along, okay? Every single day, you feed all sorts of data to this robot, okay? All sorts of data, okay, to this robot. And you ask the robot to learn, okay? Every single time when you keep on feeding the robot with all the data, it will learn, okay? It will learn from experience. Mistakes. It will learn from patterns. Now, this one over here is the domain or the field of machine learning. So that's why I can say that a machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Because AI, you imitate as human. But for the machine learning part, not only this robot can imitate as human in terms of our movement and so on, this machine can also imitate us in the form of learning process, learning things, learning by practicing, learning from experience, learning from patterns. So this is where the terms machine learning kicks in, okay? Which brings me to this topic. So like I said, artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence have two giant domains. We called it as symbolic learning and also machine learning. Okay, symbolic learning means the ability of the machine to learn things from pattern or from experience or from some sort of symbol, from some sort of coding, some sort of instruction. Okay, and also in the same time we have machine learning. These two things falls under AI. Okay, now, speaking of machine learning, we created a robot to imitate us human. And what makes us human is the ability of us to speak, to listen. So our ability to speak, to listen to anything, music, speak of instruction, listen to instruction, speaks of any languages. So this unique ability given to AI, it became speech recognition. Okay, our ability to speak, to listen to instruction. So in AI, it became speech recognition. And then our ability to write, to read. Okay, write every single thing, read every single thing. This ability over here, AI, it became NLP. NLP means natural language processing. Later, we will see what NLP is all about. Now, again, other than having the ability to speak, to listen, or having the ability to write, to read, we also can see things. We can also recognize object. So when we see things, the ability of us human to perceive things in AI, it became computer vision, which means that giving the computer the ability to perceive things just as good as us human. Okay, now under computer vision we have object recognition. Object recognition in humans life is our ability to recognize pattern, to recognize object. Like when I see this kind of object over here, automatically I know that this is a tree. Okay, our ability to recognize thing from perceive things, okay, from our everyday surroundings, okay, that is object recognition. Okay, now, as we have becoming, as we go along and we become better at identifying things, like, okay, this is the picture, and we manage to identify some sort of patterns from this picture over here. Now, this one given to AI, it became convolution neural network. Okay, now, this convolution neural network falls under the domain of deep learning. And deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Okay, now, other than that, other than us human having the ability to notice or to perceive or to see patterns from images, okay, we also remembering. Okay, so this what we call it, remembering, the ability for us to remember things from our memory thanks to deep learning and thanks to neural network. This one given to what we call it, given to the robot, it became reinforcement learning later in machine learning. So you can see, as you can see here, proven to you here from this drawing, that robot was created, AI machine was created from our own well-beings, from us, to imitate us human. So now, not only we have in machine learning, okay, not only we have deep learning, we have statistical learning, which speech recognition and NLP falls under the statistical learning. We also have pattern recognition. And did I hear something? Did anyone, are you asking me something, my dear? Anyone asking me anything? Because I hear voices just now. No? Okay, if no, right? Can I proceed? Okay. Now, all right. So under the domain of machine learning, we have three types or we have three categories. Okay. We have supervised learning, the so-called supervised learning. We have the so-called unsupervised learning, and we have reinforcement learning. Okay, now for the supervised learning example, you give the data, you feed the robot with the data, feed the machine with the data, and along with that, you give them the answers already. Like for example, you give them the results. So you feed the data and you tell the robot what would be coming the result, and you train the robot with that. Okay, you train the robot, okay, give them the data and keep on training the robot. And however, the robot knows that there are some sort of results that they will achieve. Like for example, okay, you want the robot to remember all of your friends, okay? So you train the robot to remember names. For example, Madam Hanani, I have Selena Gomez, I have Lisa Blackpink, I have Queen Amidala. So I give these names to the robot and I train the robot to remember all of, okay, all of my best friends' name. Let us imagine that Lisa Blackpink is my best friend. Selena Gomez is also my best friend. Okay, so I train the robot to remember their names. Okay, that is the result. At the end of the day, they have to remember all of my best friends. Okay, that is a simple example of supervised learning. What about unsupervised learning? Unsupervised learning means you give or you feed the robot with the data, but you do not give the robot any results in any prior result. You do not tell the robot, okay, this is what you need to achieve. No, you feed the robot with the data and you want the robot, you ask the robot to learn or to experience things, to learn from the data all by to the robot, asking the robot to learn all of the pattern, the characteristic, the movement, anything about the data. But you do not tell the robot what would be coming the end result of it. So in machine learning, we call it as unsupervised learning. Okay. Like for you, if your mommy tells you not to play outside because she's afraid that you might get hurt, but you do not want to listen to your mommy, still you go outside, you play like nobody's business, and somehow something went wrong with you, something happened to you, but you learn from that. Somehow you learn from that. If you fall into a big giant hole, the next time you go through the same road again, you know already at that on the middle of the road there will be one giant hole, so I must avoid the track, for example. Okay, speaking of reinforcement learning, okay, so you give the instruction to a robot. Let's say if Madam Hanani, if people give instruction to Madam Hanani, okay, Hanani, you go and build yourself a robot. Okay, you by using Lego, for example. Miss Everly really loves Lego. For example, Lego. Okay. So imagine that this is the all parts of Lego, you know, and I ask everybody to build. Okay, the goal is to build a robot with the head first, and then oh my god, I don't know how to draw lah. Something like this lah. Okay, something like this. Okay. So we managed to create a robot. We develop a robot, maybe from Lego counterparts or whatsoever, and then we want to make sure that this robot managed to go from A to B. Okay, from A to B. Okay, you give the time length. Okay, from A to B, and from A to B, every single step of the way, you make this robot. So maybe the first step, you will put the head first. Okay, put the head first, and then the second step. For the second step, sorry for the I got to. This is from office. Okay, now. Okay, moving along. Okay, so first you put the head first, and then you put the body first, and up until B, then only you will have the robot. You will complete the robot set. Okay, from A to B. But if you ask the robot, okay, you ask the robot to develop or to create another robot from A to B. Okay, this is from the research paper that I've read back in year 2017. Did you know what the robot did when the scientists gave instructions to the robot to develop another robot from A until B? This is what they did. Okay, this is human, right? This is human. We do things in counterparts. We do things one by one. But back in year 2017, okay, has been proven by research done by scientists from the US. When they give instruction to the robot, I saw the painting, I saw the drawing. They somehow assemble the robot in this form, in this. I don't know what to call this pattern. I don't know what to call this, but they assemble it to be like this from A to B. So creepy, right? Creepy. Wait until you see another creepier things from me after this. Okay, so this was from the research conducted back in year 2017. Okay, so this is reinforcement learning. So you give the goal to the robot, you ask the robot to achieve it, and you doesn't care what the robot will do in order to achieve the result. You don't care. You just want to see the end result. Okay, you give the goal and you want to see the end result. So this is what reinforcement learning is all about in machine learning domain. Okay, all right, enough with my drawing. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, one by one. Okay, so the analogy or the topics are on machine learning. This machine learning thing keeps on evolving. Like I said, when I did my research back in year 2009, when I created, I just created my mental health expert system just by using traditional AI. Okay, just by what we call it normal programming languages without any intervention of any sorts of machine learning algorithm. Okay, learning is a backbone or a subset of AI, because this is my own research paper back in year 2012. I stated here that to make machine learn based on its own knowledge and be able to make its own decision. So machine learning can be understood in two major components. Okay, number one is to use algorithm to find the real meaning behind our everyday random and ongoing data that is currently happening on in our surrounding. Number two is to use the learning algorithms to find the relationship between that knowledge and to improve the learning process. Okay, just now we use machine learning to find the meaning behind random data. Like, okay, for example, if you I'm not so sure if you are familiar with Zalora's website, for example. I am a self-confessed fashion addict, okay? So shopping addict. So I use Zalora's website a lot. Okay, now, speaking of Zalora, did you know that Zalora implementing lots of, what we call it, manipulating machine learning in their business, in which they use machine learning to predict 5 years from now what kind of customers that they will be having. Okay, let's say, for example, any brands in Zalora, H&M, for example, 5 years from now, what kind of color that is going to be the next big thing for H&M clothing line, for example. So companies like Zalora manipulate, they implement, they to have what we call it, to help them with the forecasting. Okay, so that's how machine learning can, you know, we can implement, or we can manipulate machine learning in businesses, in our everyday business, in our daily life. So if you can see from here, this was taken from another research paper. Okay, so as a human, we have the tendency to learn things starting from data, and if the data has some sort of meaning to it, it becomes information. It became information, and lots of information given to you eventually will turn into a knowledge. Somehow, if you are a knowledgeable person, having all the knowledge that you could equip, somehow it will, you know, it will turn into a wisdom. Okay, you can teach data to the computer. You can teach information. You can train the computer data, train the computer with all sorts of information, computer all sorts of knowledge base, but you cannot give wisdom to the machine. Wisdom is something that the machine need to acquire on its own. Just like us human, you know, starting from being a baby and then a toddler and then up until now, you know, you at your age now, our ability to learn from mistakes, to gain knowledge from our readings, from our surroundings, all of that eventually at the end of the day will turn into a wisdom. So this is what makes us human unique. We have the wisdom. We have the ability to acquire wisdom. But in the AI world, in the AI field, in the machine learning field, this is still lots of gray areas there when we talk about giving wisdom to the machine. Okay, so talking about stages in machine learning. The first stage, we have what you said just now. We have series, Alexa, Cortana, and so on. That is machine learning. That is the ability of your machine, the ability of your computer to learn. Okay, to learn from experience, to learn from the data sets. But then as they go along, keep on learning, just like you guys being a student, never stop learning. You have all sorts of subjects that you are currently taking. You learn, if you are a computer science student, you learn about cybersecurity, you learn about programming. So if you acquire as much knowledge as you could, somehow you will become an intelligent person. Okay, so same like machine, okay, with the ability to learn from every single set of data sets that you have. Even okay, so from stage number 1, we go up to other level, which is machine learning stage. And after that, after they become very intelligent, they will have some sort of consciousness, okay, the awareness, but we are not there yet. Okay, luckily for us, we are not there yet. Okay, this is from year 2019 and this is from year 2021. Okay, so at this stage, we are here now giving machine its own ability to be creative. Okay, at the moment aware of their well-beings. If they are aware of their well-beings, then we are moving towards the movie. We will become just like the movie Terminator, iRobot, and so on. Luckily, we are not there yet. For all the scientists, we are not there yet. But in year 2021, somehow we managed to reach the machine creativity level. Now, what is machine creativity? Okay, before the machine, I still want to talk about machine learning stages. Oh, sorry, not this one. Okay, I still want to talk about types of artificial intelligence before I show you example of giving machine the ability to have its own creativity. Types of machine learning, called it as artificial narrow intelligence. Okay, without just solving one robot, just solving one problem, something like Siri, Alexa, linear regression. Things move in linear regression, but it turns to become hybrid in artificial general intelligence, we call it as machine intelligence. So when the computer has becoming as smart as us human, so we can say that the computer has reached the second stage, second level. Now, coming to the third stage, artificial super intelligence and intellect that giving the machine the ability to become aware of their own well-being. So luckily we are not there yet. But if you still remember my photo just now when I show you my illustration here, machine creativity. Now, speaking of machine creativity, did you know that Google managed to get the program called the Deep Dream, okay, in which okay, here Google by his engineer Alexander used a convolution neural network to find patterns has been doing all the years, okay, turning or having the ability to become creative, okay. So in Deep Dream, we give them, for example, this painting of Serene Deep Dream to come out with its own drawing. So very creepy, I know. Eventually, this is by the Deep Dream program. This is the imitation of Google's Deep Dream program. As you can see, I can see the image of animal there. I can see the image of eyes. Very, very creepy. Okay. This happens back in year 2019 again. It was like many years or now, Deep Dream program. Okay. So all of these are under the category artificial intelligence. Okay, when you give the ability to the machine to classify things, maybe classify, okay, for Zalora just now, classify how many of their customers are male and how many of their customers are male. Okay, so that falls under classification in machine learning. Opportunity for the ability to predict. So for Zalora example, 5 years from now, the customers their customers will of course from female to male, loyal customers. Is it female customer or male customer? So first you give the robot the data set, train it to has implemented by all the major businesses out there. Okay, so this is another illustration on machine learning. So like I said, if I have the opportunity to do episode 2, maybe in create your own simple machine learning program, maybe using several, we have lots of programming languages that we can apply in order for us to create our own simple AI program. For me, I use Prolog. Prolog stands for programming in logic. I use Prolog a lot, but I use a combination of Prolog and Java. But these days, the scientists these days, they use Python, they use all sorts of Rubies and all sorts of latest programming languages can also be used to implement or to create your own machine learning program. And we have I use Python a lot actually to help me doing the prediction for my data. So Python has several what we call it several software in Python, several application in Python that we can implement, that we can use to do the prediction for the machine learning part for us. Okay, so this is a discussion on machine learning. And again, like I said, the way the robots or the way the machine can learn is via natural language parser. So just now, Sean was asking me about Google Assistant. Okay, again, where is Google Assistant? Developed by Google as well, in which this application, this software, this system would be able to help us, to assist us with our everyday, sorting our everyday activities, helping us to find whatever things that we want to find. Like for example, if in Google Assistant, I ask the Google Assistant to, I type this, find apple, okay? Now, when I type find apple, the very first word that Google Assistant will encounter is the word find. So it will go and search for the nearest what we call it, data, or the nearest information, or any website or any apps related to this keyword find, and then only it will go to Apple. Okay, but every day for Google, even for Google, they train their machines with thousands or hundreds of data, which eventually makes the machine efficient and faster in terms of, on. So in AI, in traditional AI, we call it as natural language parser. Okay, so we give the robot, we teach the machine about language one by one. Okay, so this is I go very quickly because it is about 5 p.m. already now. So this is just so you know that in AI, this is another domain or another topic in AI that hopefully I can carry this forward in my episode 2 machine learning workshop. And also we know that computer learns by reasoning, just as us human. We train, we give all sorts of knowledge base, and we ask the machine to learn, okay, from reasoning, from facts and rules, and also from patterns. So for us, we have this is example of language if you are using Prolog, programming in logic. We also have semantic network. We have several exciting topics in AI that if I have enough time, I can go very detailed, go into it very detailed. But since we are lacking of time, so I will just briefly show you guys. Okay. Now, my main goal is at least you guys coming to workshop, at least learn something from me. Okay. Maybe not all, but at least something that you can learn from me. Okay. Just sharing my knowledge with everyone. Now here, this is another interesting thing, This is what makes us human intelligent. Our ability to have our own, I can say that well-equipped, perfect brain over here, in which, for us human, we have billions. Human have approximately 1 billion sets of neurons inside our brain. Okay, and if this neuron connected to one another via synapse over here, synapse is the part in our brain, the cells that we connect from one neurons to another. And if as much as synapse connected in our brain, the more these neurons attached to one another, the better we become, the more intelligent we become. Okay, so the scientists, they learn from this and they created neural network. Okay, so this is the artificial neural network, and this one is the biological intelligence. Okay, biological network, neuron. So now my point here is, back in year 2017 as well, the scientists managed to do their research on snail. And did you know that snail, only for us as compared to us human, having this 1 billion of neurons attached to one another, snails only have 2 brain cells. Okay, so with these 2 brain cells, the one brain cells is to indicate or to give a signal to their brain, to their body, whenever they feel hungry. And another brain cells is to cater for the food storage. So with this limited set of 2 brain cells that each snail is equipped with, it helps them to make a decision. So if you compare yourself with snail, with this ability, when the scientists study this 2 cells brains of a snail, they this one here, suddenly when they change it into programming languages, it become if else. So for us human in our programming language, we have if and else. If I am feeling hungry, then I will eat. Else, I will just stay there, not eating nothing. Okay? So this kind of decisions making has been in snails for as long as snails are there lah. So but for us human, this is our chance to feel, unique about us, about human, because we have almost 1 billion neurons attached to one another. So which gives us the ability to do this. Okay, not this one, this one. I do not have enough time to show you more videos, unfortunately, but I just want to show you this. What happens inside our brain. Okay, we have our left brain, we have our right brain. In AI, this field is regarded as neuroscience. Okay, neuroscience. The study of human brain is a neuroscience in which our right brain will cater for every creative things about us, emotional, intelligent, holistic kind of things, and our left brain will be more logic, will cater for things like mathematics. As you can see from my illustration here, our left brain will cater for every logic things. Our right brain will cater for all the creative things. Okay, so be thankful that you were born as a human as compared to snail. Okay, now like I said, at least by joining my workshop, at least you learn something, so that if like tomorrow, let's say tomorrow your friend asking you, or you join Madam Hanani's workshop, maybe you can say, oh, the only thing I can learn, or the only thing I can remember from Madam Hanani's workshop is that snail has 2 brain cells as compared to human. At least you learn something from me. Right? Now, again, moving along, the topic of machine learning in AI. Actually, guys, we use AI a lot these days in our everyday life, Even for Madam Hanani, when I want to translate something, I will go to Google Translate. You know what happened to me the other day? I did my research at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was such a huge fan of all the Bollywood movies, and I want to sing to one of the Bollywood songs, and I forgot the details of the lyrics. So I just type from my Google. I just type, blindly just type. Somehow Google can understand the lyrics that I am searching, the kind of song that I was searching at that moment. So very impressive. Google Translate, Google search engine has becoming more and more intelligent. And you can only imagine that the data, you can only imagine how huge is the data for Google Translate. So research has shown that for Google Translate, the data transmission rate and the amount of data that the Google's are currently processing each and every day is about 10 to 15 exabytes. And if I were like for a personal computer, personal computer can only acquire the amount of around 50 GB of data. But for the Google Translate, the amount of data that currently being processed by Google per day from 10 to 15 exabyte, and if we calculate it and turn it into personal computers, it would be approximately having 30 million personal computers working just trying to find the whole lyrics of Bollywood song for Madam Hanani at 3 a.m. in the morning. See how impressive the technology has become. Which brings me to my second last presentation for today, the future of artificial intelligence. Now, these days, even in Malaysia, we are very much moving towards IR 4.0, okay? So you might be asking, what is IR 4.0? Industry level revolution 4.0, 4.0. We started off from the first revolution, that is industrial. Second revolution is mass production in electricity. This is where electricity, what we call it, the starting point of all the major breakthrough in electricity domain started from the second revolution. And the third revolution, we have all of the automated production of all electronic products, something like our own embedded system embedded inside our air conditioning and so on. Okay, so automated production of using electronic, PLC and so on, robotics. And now in Malaysia, we are moving towards the IR 4.0. And that is autonomous decision making. Okay, again, using machine learning through cloud technology. And every single day, we will have some sort of major breakthrough in this area. Okay, now, although I have several videos that I would like to show, I think this one is one of most interesting one. Okay, so I hope everybody can enjoy this video. The second last video that I have for my workshop for today. This is on the topic of future of AI. Okay, so I think this one was taken back in year 2019. Yes, during Azure Symposium, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, it's a pleasure to be here
Hopefully
in Las
everybody
Vegas
will
to
be
present
able
to you.
see
Now, I
this.
get invited to do keynotes across the globe. And while it's easy for me to be here in Las Vegas, it isn't always easy for me to travel across the world. And even when I do, I can't always speak the local language. Well, what if neither language nor distance mattered for me to deliver a fantastic keynote? What if technology could help me be anywhere I needed to be and speak any language I wanted? Well, it can. We are bringing together the power of mixed reality and Azure AI services to create a truly game-changing experience. What you're about to see is an exact hologram of me wearing the same outfit that we recently captured at a mixed reality studio. And I don't speak Japanese, but what if I wanted to deliver my keynote in Japanese? Using Azure AI technology, I can translate my English into Japanese and train it to sound exactly like me, the same voice tones, those same inflections. Now, we brought this together, my hologram and Azure AI, to show you what's possible. So first, I'm going to put on my HoloLens 2 here, and then we'll flip in the room to the special camera so you can see exactly what I'm seeing. Let's get started. Let me introduce you to Mini-Me. There she is, my perfect holograph. And thanks to the power of HoloLens 2, she just floats right with me. I'm literally holding my hologram, so natural. Now she's a little small to do a keynote. So let's get her up so she can do full-size Japanese keynote. Render keynote.
Amazing. Very, very amazing. Major.
ホログラムになることには本当に驚くべきことがあります。私たちは最新の複合現実キャプチャ技術を使用し、私のホログラムを作成しています。実在の人物をホログラムとして見たことがあるかもしれませんが、私が実際に日本語を話しているのが新しいのです。私は日本語を話しませんが、私の声とホログラムは完璧な日本語で話しています。これはニューラルテキスト読み上げと呼ばれる最新の人工知能技術、いわゆるニューラル TTS を使用しています。私たちは自分の声の録音を使用し、私の指を聞こえる私自身の個人的な音声署名を作成します。日本語からフランス語、ポルトガル語まで話せます。今、この技術は私たちが働き、遊び、生活する方法に関して、世界中の国境や障壁を取り除くことができると想像してみてください。まさに SF が現実になるところです。
As you can see, this is mind-blowing technology. And what you just saw was my life-size hologram, my exact replica, rendered here in real time, speaking Japanese with my unique voice signature. To do this, we use mixed reality technology to create my hologram and render it here live. Then we use Azure speech-to-text capability and English transcription to get my speech. Then use Azure Translate to get the speech into Japanese, and finally applied neural text-to-speech technology so it sounded exactly like me, just speaking Japanese. And the most amazing part? All of these technologies exist today. The future is here.
See, this video was taken from year 2019, showing the breakthrough for Azure with their latest hologram technology. And actually, I have more videos, but since I don't have enough time, so I just moving along to the threat of artificial intelligence. Okay. Now, it has been said and stated by the research conducted several years ago that somehow 30 years from now, the AI will totally replace us human, okay? Especially in terms of job or working sector, in which even now, even now, as I speak here now, some of some of our job has been taken over by the robots. Like for example, if I want to buy something, I don't really have to go I don't really have to be at the counter. I can just order from the kiosk, and then after the food is done, like McDonald's and so on, after the food is done, and actually I can just go and pack up and take the food. This happened in China at the moment for their KFCs, all of their KFCs outlet. So some of our, some of our job, even from many years already now, has been replaced by robots. So some scientists say that robots can somehow endanger us, becoming a threat for us. Even Stephen Hawking himself stated that somehow AI can become a threat. Now, this is what I encounter, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in year 2019 or 2017 or 2018. I forgot. On that year, Facebook was created its own robot, but somehow something went wrong, in which suddenly that AI robot created by Facebook started talking to each other in their own language. Very creepy, right? You, I, everything else, and there's robot named Bob. I can, I, everything else, and this Alice reply like that. So this was this one I took this from independent news, but actually this has becoming viral already. It went viral back in the day when the news broke by the Facebook people. So they have to shut down their AI robots automatically on that time, because creepy enough, the machine started to communicate with each other at their very own language, which we don't even know what does it mean. Okay, so actually, if you ask my personal opinion, I think human and robot can live harmony with one another if we are moving towards the very same goal, which is to solve problem, or to help us with our better, every day, help us with our better understanding about maybe these days that we have the pandemic that we are currently living in, the COVID-19 pandemic era, and the scientists are fully utilizing their ability with machine learning, big data, and so on, to develop something like, for us, the My Sejahtera one, to predict when this pandemic will end. Actually, this is up to us. Actually, from my point of view, this is up to us as human, as the creator, on how we want to tackle the emerging or the evolving technology of AI, which brings me to the very last slide of my presentation for today. You might be asking, okay, nowadays we have robots that can do things better than us human, like for example, a machine that can compute or do the calculation better, way much better than us. So this brings us to this kind of question: can human actually compete with robots? Can robots or any AI machines really replace us human? What is the so unique thing about us that makes us human as compared to robot? Okay, so to answer this question, I will allow Mr. Jack Ma, okay, the founder of Alibaba, to explain it to us. What makes us unique as human? So, Mr. Jack Ma, over to you. So let's listen this this from Jack Ma's point of view. Okay, so he's the one of the richest men in China and also in the world. So let's listen from him. What is so different? What makes us human? What makes us different from robot? Enjoy my last video, by the way.
Education, it's a big challenge now. If we do not change the way we teach, 30 years later we'll be in trouble. because the way we teach, the thing we teach our kids are the things in the past 200 years is knowledge based, and we cannot teach our kids to compete with machine who is smarter. We have to teach something unique. That is, machine can never catch up with us. Value, believing, independent thinking, teamwork, care for others. These are the soft part. The knowledge may not teach you that. Folks, that's why I think we should teach our kids on sports, entertainment, the music, painting, art, to making sure humans should be different from everything we teach should be different from machine. If the machine can do better, you have to think about it.
So I really agree with him. I have to agree with him on this, you know. This is what makes us human, you know. If we want to compare ourselves with robots in terms of execution tasks, for example, we cannot compete with robots because these days AI has becoming so intelligent that somehow it has the ability to replace us doing our everyday job. But what distinguishes us from robot is our ability to feel happy, our ability to have empathy, to be kind to other people. So this is the kind of characteristics that I want to instill to all of you, my young viewers, my students, my participants. I do not want in my entire life of being a lecturer, I do not want to produce another robot. I want to produce another good human being, someone who has the ability to at least respect his or her own lecturer, someone who has the ability to be kind to younger people or to the elders, someone who has the ability and someone who managed to differentiate between what is wrong and what is right. So embrace ourselves for being human, embrace all of our unique characteristic and continue being human. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's all from Madam Hanani for my episode 1 workshop for today. And if you have anything you would like to communicate with me, you would like to get in touch with me, feel free to drop me an email at this email address. Okay, I really hope I really hope that everybody enjoy my workshop, enjoy my presentation. And if there's any wrongdoing on my part, I'm very, very sorry. And again, thank you so much, Miss Evelyn, for giving me this opportunity to share with all of sales members, all of the students. And over to you, Mariam. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam Hanani, for giving such an amazing talk. Let's all give Madam Hanani a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so before we end this workshop, I would like to open the Q&A session. If there is any questions, please, you may raise your hand in the Microsoft Teams meeting, or you can leave your question in the chat box, and we will attend them accordingly. So, yes. So,
Madam Hanani, I'm very happy that you actually, promote soft skills, which is the nature of our club.
yes.
Oh, really? Oh my God. Unintentionally.
Yeah, skills is Soft Skills Enhancement and Learning Support Association.
Oh, okay. Now I know. Thank you so much, Miss Evelyn.
Thank you.
I did.
Thank you. So, Muhammad Islam, do you have a question? You can unmute yourself.
All right. So, Madam, can I give my opinion on the question whether or not it will compete with us?
Yes,
and
yes.
then I'll start to I start to question the.
Okay.
Ask my question. Okay. So, hear me out. So, what my personal opinion is that I don't think the AI will able to compete with us because they don't have this one aspect, which is a soul. So,
Wow, yes.
yeah, as we all
Yes.
know,
Very good,
that
my
a
dear.
soul is the reason that we have a will to live and to die, right?
Yes.
So the
Yes.
AI
Very good.
will never understand this because it doesn't live and it doesn't die, by the way.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's my opinion. So back to my question.
Okay. All right.
So I am inspired by a game that simulates the future life where the AI technology are way too close to perfection. But
Mm-hmm.
to enjoy that, you have to give in your privacy to the higher ups, which are
Yes.
controlled by the government and also the
Yes.
company that relates to it. Because,
Yes.
like I said, the AI doesn't have a human's touch,
Yes.
so it will need someone to control it.
Yes.
So my question is, will AI gonna be a problem when it comes to our privacy and security? Because I don't want everyone to know where I'm going, what am I doing, and so on. And if so, how am I to avoid it?
Okay.
So that's all.
All right. That's all for your question? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, my dear, for that question. Okay. Now, speaking of privacy, that's why that is the main thing why I don't have my own Facebook account to begin with. I don't have my own Facebook account. I don't have my own Twitter. I don't have my own Instagram because you know what? Every day you use the Facebook, for example. Every day you upload your photos. Every day you upload your status. You tell your activities and so on. The algorithm in Facebook will keep on collecting data from you. Okay. Somehow, you know what? Maybe 30 years from now, Facebook will know you more than your mother knows you. So, you know, so it will go up into that extent, up until that level when it comes to privacy, some sort of breaching privacy and so on. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to us as the creator of the program, as the creator of the machine, as the creator of the system. So for our country, it is up to our government, and we have the government, the governing body to govern all of our AI activities, all of our systems and so on to ensure and to enhance our security. I give you simple example, banking sector, in banking industry. You know how many vital data, how many thousands of vital and secure data that they have to safeguard, that they really have to make sure they keep it in a very safe place just to avoid any what we call it, any threat to any of their customers' data. So it can be done, by the way. If you see at the banking sector, they are doing it every day, meaning that your privacy can be protected, okay? But it depends on the governing body itself. And when it comes to you as a user, it all depends on you. And again, that explains why I do not have my own media social account. But actually, at the end of the day, it's all up to us as human. Okay, so we decide. But again, to answer your question, privacy breaching, what we call it, intrusion, and so on is possible when it comes to AI. So beware. That is just one. Thank you so much, my dear, for the question. Okay.
Okay. So
I hope I have answered him. What is your name, my dear? Okay, all right, okay.
My name is Muhammad Islah bin Wira Firdaus. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, my dear Muhammad. Am I answering your question, my dear? Or
Yes,
do you
you
have
did.
any further? Okay, thank you, my dear. Okay.
okay. Thank you. So anyone have any more questions? You may raise your hand or type it on the chat box.
Madam,
Yes, my dear.
I have a question.
Okay.
How to read algorithm? Like you say, because I run for FB ads, Shopee ads, and then Instagram ad. So, is there any apps or how we can read algorithm so we can aim direct to our customer or something like that?
Are you talking from the creators, from the developers' point of view, or from the user's point of view, my dear?
From the user.
Okay, we are not going to have the ability to know the algorithms or whatever happens behind the apps, like for Shopee, Lazada, and so on, because that was from the developers' side, not for us as a user, unless they make it as an open source. If they make their algorithm as in a form of open source, which is widely available actually from the internet, then we can have our what we call it, the source code that we can download. Then we can see their algorithms. Even for Facebook, we don't know what kind of algorithms that they are implementing, because every day Facebook will keep on changing its own algorithm. Sometimes if you update your status, although I don't have Facebook, I do read a lot. Sometimes your status, the algorithm of the Facebook, they will filter your status. Sometimes the status with more likes will appear frequently in your news feed as compared to the one with the less likes or whatsoever. Okay, so from the users side, we are not able to know what kind of algorithm, that what kind of programming codes that they are currently having or using for their apps, for their website, and so on. But from the, unless they make it open source, okay, then only we can go and check upon the algorithm, the coding. Unless you are the developer, then yes, of course, you are the developer, the source code is yours. Let's say you develop an app, Food Panda app, or any other intelligent app by using, like I said, Prolog or Java or Python, then you can get access, you can modify, you can update, you can do anything with it. Okay. Okay. You understand, my dear?
Yes, because some of the place open the like this workshop for the run ads.
Yes, the
They can.
hackers one. Yes, the hackers one, right? Unless you are a hacker or you are very much interested in trying to hack any website, then there's a way actually. The reason why I am not telling you this, because hacking is not a legal activity. So as a lecturer, I cannot promote hacking. So that's why I cannot say that you can go and hack any algorithm. I just can say that you don't have the you don't have the authority to go and break into other apps algorithm. But from the hacker's point of view, yes, you are speaking about what is the team, or anonymous, or what, the hacking group and so on. They know how to break into your codes, how to break into your algorithm. They know how to hack your system. Okay, my dear.
Thank you.
Am I answering? Are you satisfied with my answer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, my dear, for the question. Yes, Mariam?
Okay, so anyone else have any questions? Okay. So I guess that's all. So thank you, Madam Nur Hanani, for this wonderful feedback and this wonderful talk. For me, I felt like I learned a lot from this, and this was an interesting videos that you provided us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear.
Yeah. So I hope all of you can learn something as well as it benefits you in your future. I always believe that we only stop learning when we die. So without any further waiting, I would like to invite all of you to open your camera for our photography session to commemorate today's program. So please, everyone, come on, open your camera.
Miss Evelyn, you're looking so beautiful today.
Alamak.
Always beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, thank you. By the way, thank you so much, Eve, for inviting me.
No. Yeah, we are so grateful to have you. We are the one. It's our pleasure. Seriously. Thank you so much for willing to help us lah. Episode 9 episode 2 dah set dah.
Episode 2. Up to you.
Okay, later I will PM you, okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry. I am not able to do my AI challenge because we are running out of time, right? Next time, episode 2. Just you win.
Or maybe episode 1.2.
Wow, so happy to see all familiar faces. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining.
Okay.
So who's taking a photo?
Yeah. Smile. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sis. Thank you, Miss Evelyn. Thank you, Mariam. Thank you, everyone, for having me. Thank you so much.
Goodness, we feel so you're the one who should say thank you, madam.
Thank you, Miss Eve. Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye,
Thank
madam.
you.
I would like to remind all the participants to fill up the feedback form to receive your score. So thank you, everyone. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to fill up the feedback form for your score, and I wish all of you guys happy Friday, and please come and join us for our next PEEP workshops. Thank you, everyone.